Peace and blessings, beautiful souls, magnificent beings. Today we're examining the civil war between Black Ratchetness and Black Excellence. Who's winning and who's losing? Exhibit A. Now, what we see right here is display of pure animalistic wildness in the form of a celebration of a graduation. One individual said, "Oh my hoodness," meaning this is the epitome of hoodness, and it shows that we have declined in our values, our standards, our principles, our interests. We have taken on the mindset and the idea that this type of behavior represents the high standard of Black culture, contrary to the fact. This looks like a bunch of wild, untamed animals. And it's unfortunate that you and I have to get on the airways and point this out. This is not acceptable. It is not a representation of Black excellence to any degree. It is the supreme example of Black ratchetness. And this has to be pointed out. It has to be stopped. It has to be examined. Now, allow us to check out another one of these, and this is Black excellence on display versus Black ratchetness. Let's see what Black excellence actually looks like. This is Black excellence, but we don't get a chance to view this. This doesn't get the airtime, the airplay, and the light shined on it because of the extreme behavior of those who have engaged and taken on the persona of ratchetness as being a badge of honor. It is not a badge of honor, and this continues to spiral out of hand. It is a deep psychological occurrence happening within that type of culture. It's mainly being displayed by Blacks, but it is not limited to Blacks, although we have become the face of it. And with our uniqueness when it comes to our ability to express ourselves in dance, etc., it has escalated into a all-out wild performance with some very disrespectful, degenerate movements, etc. It doesn't represent what is Black excellence. This is a display of Black excellence. Very beautiful young lady. And not saying the other ladies are not beautiful, but what we're saying is she's carrying herself in a manner that shows that she has value, that she has embraced the ideal of maturity, emotional maturity, etc. She is a perfect example, but we don't get this displayed. We don't highlight this. What is highlighted is the ratchetness, and the ratchetness is everywhere, and it has infiltrated not only the hood, but in individuals who are fairly well-to-do when it comes to societal standards. A lot of this has been accepted, embraced, and deployed amongst individuals who are not in the hood, who are not impoverished. So again, this makes that situation that worse. Let's pull up another example of some semi-ratchetness, and it's not necessarily a bad thing in and of itself, but with the explosion of ratchetness across the board, this interaction right here is still something that could be avoided. So allow us to check this interaction out. So what we see right here is it appears to be they're eating. I think that's a new slang thing, a new thing that goes along with individuals who have done or succeeded or have accomplished something that they want to accomplish, and they use the motion of eating as a demonstration of success. I'm not totally mad at this. It's something that should be looked at. It should be something that is enjoyable to watch. But with the degree of ratchetness and with this being the main display of who and what we represent, even the innocuous interactions between individuals doing a little bit of dance, etc., becomes too much because of the other and the explosion of the ratchetness that has encompassed pretty much every aspect of our social lives. And this becomes a major issue. And again, and I look at this, I don't really see a lot there that I'm upset with. It's just the fact that it is over representative of us in this day and time. At these events, I would like to see a higher level of display for the young black man, young black woman, and the interaction even with this, I guess, administrator, him knowing that, all right, that's cool, it's fun, it's etc. But again, with the condition of the black people, and especially the younger generation, any display of this is too much at this point. Now, when situations or the circumstances of the inner city communities of the black community as a whole changes, then maybe this wouldn't be as egregious. And again, to be honest with you, in and of itself, I don't see it as being egregious, but considering the circumstances, indeed it is egregious because this is what has been the representation of us. And now let's check in with one more of these ratchet. Actually, we're going to go into the Nation of Islam's drill team. And again, you don't have to agree with the Nation of Islam's ideology or any of that. But what they have done and what they continue to do is to produce young men and women who are developed with discipline, with a sense of ethics, morality, with a sense of value, purpose, and intention. And they do not engage in the dominant behavior of those of that culture, which is the ratchet culture that seems to be winning. These things don't get displayed. We see ratchetness being displayed at the highest level 24/7. And we cannot deny that it does not exist. It does exist. But again, you have black excellence out here. It doesn't get the airplay of black ratchetness. Black ratchetness is out here, and it is a dominating force. And at this point in time, black ratchetness is dominating and winning against black excellence when it comes to the social display that gets the most attention. And what gets the most attention becomes the most dominant view of any situation. And this is why a correction is needed. The ratchet behavior is not an example of highly evolved individuals. It is an example of individuals who have and who are racing towards the bottom of society when it comes to behavior standards. And after those standards have been diminished, so follows the culture, so follows the individual, so follows the community. And this is one of the reasons why black individuals remain collectively at the bottom of each and every social metric in society. We can do better. We need to do better. But at the end of the day, if those who are in that condition want to remain in that condition, there's nothing that you and I can do about that. So again, separation is needed. Separate yourself from the Black ratchetness into the Black excellence, and they have their own category of what they represent, and they do not represent the entirety of the Black experience in America and or Black representation. So again, we must look at this, we must understand this, and understand that this is not behavior that is conducive to anything that will produce any real value and sustainable value. And this is where the Democrats and the Black liberals, who I say are the most dangerous and worst representatives of Black people, because they never call out the Black ratchetness, but they always blame the system for the failure of Black communities, etc. Two things can be true. The system definitely had a part in the creation of poverty and the devaluing of a particular human being. But the other thing that is true, the continued behavior, the continued acceptance, embracement of this type of behavior, now it becomes your responsibility, because you are perpetuating the demise of your community, the demise of your culture. And the Black politicians continue to turn a blind eye to the lack of morals, the lack of ethics, the lack of values, the lack of principle, the lack of intention to do better, to be better, to grow better. So this falls 95% at the feet of those who are participating in that behavior and have embraced it as something that should be valued and celebrated. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe, hit that like button. I would love to hear from you in the comments, and we can chop it up and see, can we come to a reasonable conclusion as to who's winning, Black excellence or Black ratchetness. Have a beautiful day. Peace.